On one hand, yeah, I didn't do such a great job of picking the right time to start. But on the other hand, it was an amazing education. And if I could work through that and actually do some business and learn the trade in some of the worst times since the Great Depression in the 20s, then I set myself up for a long, prosperous career.
Welcome to Leading and Growing Your Real Estate Business. I'm James Short, and this show dives into the real stories behind the agents and the leaders shaping our industry. No polished highlight reels, just honest conversations about what's working, what's not, and how they're building businesses that actually grow. Each episode, I sit down with someone in the trenches, top performers, rising leaders, business owners who've cracked the code and others still figuring it out. We unpack the wins, the failures, the habits, and the lessons you can put to work straight away. Before we dive in, can I ask a favor? And please subscribe or follow on the platform you're listening or watching this. The more we grow, the bigger impact we can have together. And thank you. Let's get started. Hey, welcome back to another edition. And today we are very excited to have the most amazing guest with us, Mark Gordon. He's a luxury real estate broker and owner of Christiana Realty in Vail, Colorado, one of my favorite places. Oh my gosh, the snow and the conditions are over there incredible. With over 25 years of experience in one of the most resilient resort markets in the country, he's immediate past president of the Vail Board of Realtors, a director of the National Association of Realtors, representing Colorado's small and medium boards, and a chair of the Colorado Association of Realtors Insight Advisory Committee, a think tank focused on identifying the issues of shaping real estate's future, a founding member of the Vail Economic Advisory Council and longtime board member of the Bravo Musical Festival. Mark is also connected to his community as he is also into the market. He is also partner of the Bad Kitty Lounge, a beloved local gathering spot. He's also currently on the sales team for the EP148, ultra luxury new development in Vail's Lions Head neighborhood. Oh, sounds exciting. And is declared candidate for the 2027 President-elect of the Colorado Association of Realtors. He brings the perspective of an educator, not a salesperson, to everything he does. More at vailcoluxuryhomes.com. Mark, it's an honor and a privilege to have you on the show tonight. Thank you for your time. So excited to unpack all this with you.
That introduction made me seem a little bit unstable with all of the volunteering that I did. I hate listening to that. It's like, oh no, please don't play it for my wife.
Love it, love it, love it. Now, Mark, you've been in the industry for quite some time, but let's go back to those beginnings. Why real estate? Why getting into the industry? What was that transitioning for you?
Yeah, so 2008, and must say I don't know a lot about the history of the Australian real estate business, but here, 2008, we were coming out of a really good time and about to go into a really bad time.
Yep.
So, on one hand, yeah, I didn't do such a great job of picking the right time to start. But on the other hand, it was an amazing education. And if I could work through that and actually do some business and learn the trade in some of the worst times since the Great Depression in the 20s, then I set myself up for a long, prosperous career.
Fantastic, fantastic. Now, you would have seen so many changes over that time frame since 2008, 2009. What has been some of those biggest changes that you've seen in your area, within the Vail area?
It's pretty interesting. When was the last time you were here?
Oh gosh, I skied in Aspen back in 98, I think it was. So it's a little while ago now. And we're actually heading over in August this year. My daughter starts college over in Missouri, so we're going to do a little bit of a round tour for a couple of weeks. But yeah, it's been a little while.
Come to Vail. I will hook you up. My business partner is a hotel right in the village. I own one of the partners at the Bad Kitty Lounge. I promise you'll have a great time if you could. We'll talk offline about that. But
so lots of changes, right?
Lots of changes. So I was on the Vail Town Council from 05 to 09. Okay. And they called it Vail's Renaissance, starting in about 2002 through 2008-ish, and then the downturn happened. But I was like the deciding vote on some big developments, working on developer improvement agreements, and what's really cool, so we now have a great bed base, and we're about to start a new renaissance as well, which we can talk about in a little bit. But we now have a great bed base. We didn't back at that time have a great bed base, but we've done everything. It's all unmistakably Vail. We have a very thorough entitlement process through the town. The town is not intimidated by people with a lot of money who say this is the way we do it here. That everything that happens in Vail has to be done the Vail way. So someone who maybe was here in the 70s and then comes back, it's still obviously Vail. It's just been updated. Beautiful. And it's looking great. And we're about to have another $2 billion with a B dollars worth of developments that are currently going through the development process. So there is going to be some really great stuff happening here in town. And smart money is betting on the future of Vail.
That's exciting. That's exciting. Now, I want to unpack to you, that's a really good point that you made about no matter what level of money that you have, you're coming back and sticking to those core values and core roots. How does one, or how does an association, how does a board navigate that? Because, you know, when you have big donors, when you have big investors, there can be some influence, but how do you stick to those core roots and core values?
It's one of the harder things to do. I think communication is huge. And for the most part, not all the time, but with the municipality, if someone comes in and they're trying to do something that doesn't fit, if you can explain it, that it's to their benefit to follow the rules. And so I formed a group after I got off council, some prominent people who worked in the development business for some big companies and have done a lot of developments. Vail is a very difficult place to do development. So I formed this group that we would meet once a month and we would identify potential redevelopment spots. Things that an outside developer, there's no way they could figure it out. Just impossible. We would identify these. We're not developers, but we would support developers. And that's how I got involved with this new development that's happening in Lion's Head, the Apogee, which is going to be 9 ultra high luxury, beautiful places. We're tearing down an old building that needs to be redone, that's not in great shape. And we're going to be putting in these amazing condos that are state of the art with incredible views, as well as having a restaurant, having a little bit of commercial space, and it's just going to be unbelievably beautiful. And the sales, there is serious demand for new product because it has been a while since we've had new product.
I love that. I love those two bits I want to jump on. One is the ability to have that group meeting every month. And once again, as you said, coming back to the communication piece and looking at where you can actually redevelop rather than actually new development, which is great. And the opportunity for this exciting new project. Like, this is going to be a game changer for Vail. Like, as you said, it hasn't had some new stuff there for a while, and this opportunity. What is it about the Vail market that's so exciting and so intriguing and so magical? I know it is a magical place, but what is it, do you think? What's underpinning it all?
You know, it's just the perfect storm of perfection. It is such an amazing place. I wound up here by accident because my wife and I were getting tired where we were. A couple of exit strategies on my company weren't working out. and Vail Resorts offered me an $11 an hour job to come work for the security department for the mountain. And I was like, yes, this is it. My wife got a job for the same $11 an hour at an art gallery. So it was perfect. But we instantly fell in love with it. It's just such a beautiful place. We have the best ski mountain anywhere.
True.
In my opinion. It's just an incredible mountain. Our summers, we have no mosquitoes and no humidity. The summers are incredible. We have incredible orchestras, farmers markets, hiking, biking, rafting, all of that here. We are in the middle of the Rockies, so it's easy to go spend a weekend at Aspen or go to Moab and go to the national parks there, or go down to Denver, which is a world-class city with awesome art and amazing food and shopping. So we just have everything. And with us being an hour and a half from Denver, we have the drive-in market in Denver and the Front Range. As it becomes more and more successful, those people want to have weekend homes up here, vacation homes up here, and they spend time up here. But we also have that incredible destination, loyal visitor whose family's been coming here since the 60s. And this is where they come on vacation. So we are always well positioned to ride out any storm. After 9/11, back in 2001, when no one was flying and no one was going on destination trips, we had all the drivers coming up from Denver and taking advantage of it. So town was still busy. In other times when we don't have, this year, for instance, our snow was not great. So we did not get as many Denver people who chased the snow to come up, but the destination people who are coming up with multi-generation families and either have a second home here or are renting hotel rooms or renting houses, they still came and they skied. They had a great time. They might not have been first chair to last chair, but they had a great time there. And the town just rolled out the red carpet for them. And all of our customer service surveys showed that the town maybe provided the best customer service of any year ever. Our numbers were through the roof because everybody, all 5,000 of the full-time residents here, became ultra amazing concierges for everyone. Whatever people needed, we smiled and we helped them, and people had great vacations.
I love that. There's so many different aspects to it, and there's so many different, I guess, markets or people visiting, or as you said, repeating, or locals. It's on so many different facets. It's such a beautiful and special place. With your experience within the real estate industry, what have you seen as the biggest changes over the last years as being a realtor? What have you noticed as some of those big changes in your profession?
Interesting. So I am currently running for president-elect of the Colorado Association of Realtors. I'm an NAR, National Association of Realtors, board of director. I've been on multiple committees and boards. And the industry, I think the changes have flipped into overdrive. The afterburners are on and change happens. It's like if there's a day that there's not a major announcement, I keep looking back behind me to see what exactly is happening. But right now, a big chunk is that consolidation. You've got brokerages that are consolidating. There was just an announcement where EXP just bought Next Home. Compass bought Anywhere. Remax and Real got together. So you've got all of these things. I am a proud independent realtor. There are two of us in our office. And we still show up on the percentage of what's being done in Vail. We hustle. We work hard.
Love it.
But who knows the future for independent brokerages? The other piece of the puzzle that is related is the MLS. What is the MLS in the United States going to become? On one hand, the MLS before the settlement was the envy of the whole world. And I talked to Australian and European realtors because I'm involved in the Certified Residential Specialist Organization. And when I talked to international real estate professionals, they talked about how great our system is. And now it's being dismantled. So we shall see how that works. We'll see. I still believe there'll be a place for independent brokerages because it's a relationship business. And brokerages like to flex their muscle and say that it's all about the brand and the flag and this and that. But really, when it comes down to it, it's each of us agents and the relationships we have with past customers, current customers, and future customers. So that's my state of the industry. And then there's little things like days on market and transparency. And just every single day it's something. It's a little bit like standing on quicksand. But I'm keeping my head together.
And it's so true, right? You know, you see some of the big mergers that's happening, some of the takeovers, and yet at the end of the day, it's still what I call the eyeball to eyeball, belly to belly. You're having those conversations, and really no one can take that away because you're building those relationships with the owners, with the clients, which at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Now you've got some exciting stuff coming up. You've got the project coming up. Anything else that's on the horizon for you over the next 6 to 12 months that you're working on?
Yeah. So not only my place within organized real estate, the elections the first week in June. So by the time a lot of people are watching this, I imagine hopefully it'll go in the right direction. But either way, I'll stay involved and contribute to the industry. So I will continue to contribute to the industry. This year, I am the chair of the Inside Advisory Committee for Colorado Association of Realtors. And we are a think tank that is charged with looking over the hill, not the items that are in the news now, but what's potentially going to happen over the horizon, and we're going to have to react. And just having incredibly insightful conversations amongst the committee and bringing in experts to have dialogues with us. So that works. So I am tuned into what's happening, but what I always tell people when all of this stuff is happening in the quicksand like we were talking about is, don't worry about it. Go call 3 of your past clients and find out what's happening in their lives.
Love it.
You'll get business. And I can't say that I came up with that because I'm definitely sometimes pull out the hair and get dramatic. But the Real Estate Unfiltered podcast, James Dwiggins and Keith Robinson, Keith always says that, and he and I have talked, and it's great advice. So I try to keep that in mind. Things are crazy. Do what you do. Count on those relationships. Make new relationships, and all is well. As far as my future in Vail, the Adaptation is taking up a lot of time because it's just so worthwhile. It's just such a beautiful thing. And then there's some other developments that are cooking, but nothing awesome. I can really talk about.
Nothing yet.
But fantastic. When I can talk about them, I'll email you guys.
Perfect. Mark, on our show, we have our 60-second quiz to find out more about our guests. Are you willing to play?
Sure.
All right, here we go.
I don't know if you'll be happy what you find out, but we'll see.
All good. Here we go. Favorite movie?
So I have a master's in comparative literature, pop culture theory, and film studies, which is all vocational training for real estate. So here you go. I love The Seventh Seal by Ingmar Bergman, Rock and Roll High School by Roger Corman with the Ramones, and maybe Jaws.
Love it. What a mix. What a mix. Favorite food?
Italian is pretty much there for me, but I'm somewhat of a foodie and love when I go to different cities, really finding hole in the wall places or fine dining places that I've never been to before and then recommending them to friends.
Love it. Favorite holiday destination?
Since I live in a ski resort, I used to say my favorite destination would be to go skiing, but that's not the case anymore because right behind me, about 20 yards, 60 feet, is the best ski mountain in North America. So I don't go on ski vacations anymore. I love going to either a beach somewhere, but I have a tough time, as you could tell by the speed in which I talk, I have a tough time sitting and doing nothing. So I like to go to a place that there's a lot to do. Not just outdoor recreational activities, but maybe art museums and galleries and historical things. So, and I do love cities. I live in the mountains, but I'm still very much a city person.
Fantastic. And do you have a morning routine that you follow?
Morning routine, yes. I am a coffee snob, and I have this amazing Italian espresso maker made by Rocket that is super cool looking, and my wife makes fun of me, but she does not hesitate to drink my espresso every morning. So take the dog for a nice long walk as the sun's coming up while the espresso maker's heating up, come back and make 1, 2, or 3 shots and enjoy the coffee and get ready for the day's work.
Love it. What about an evening routine? Do you have an evening routine that you usually follow?
I am usually so exhausted that it's just like my evening routine is when I get home, if I'm not watching something on television for a little bit, maybe I'll read some news or read a novel, but that lasts. It's very short, and then I'm just out. I do wake up very early, so.
Gotcha. If you could choose 5 inspirational people to have dinner with, they could be dead or alive, who would they be?
See, that's a really tough one. I was hoping you weren't going to ask something like that. I would love inspirational people. I think people who have really changed things, but who are not so full of themselves that I would get lost. So obviously, with my background in movies, I would love to have dinner with Akira Kurosawa, as long as his English, and we could talk about Seven Samurai. I am very much a music person. I had a record label back in the 90s in Louisville, Kentucky. And I would love to, I'm also on the board of directors of a classical music festival here. So I would like some composers, but also some punk rockers who might not be with us. I would love to have dinner with Dee Dee Ramone. That would be super cool. And some scientists and historians.
Fantastic. What a beautiful mix. Do you have a biggest regret?
And my grandmother.
Okay.
We'll
put her on the list.
She was incredibly influential in my life. My father's mother was just an amazing human being, and I do miss her. And she used to come to Vail when we first moved here, and it was awesome to spend the summers with her. But that would be a really great meal, too.
Beautiful. Now, do you have a biggest regret at all?
I really try not to do regrets. I do like to, when I'm laying in bed and I can't sleep, I like to think about what would have happened if, when I got accepted to grad school at Columbia in New York to go to film studies program there, if I had the money to actually do it, or if they had the money to offer me a teaching position and I had gone to New York, where would that have taken me? So I like to play that kind of stuff, but I really don't feel like I have any regrets.
So good. So good. And what would be your best piece of advice to the listeners? They may be up and coming realtors looking to enhance their skills, or they could be the seasoned realtors. What would be your best piece of advice to them?
Real estate, first of all, be a professional. Be the best you can be. Continually learn your skills, because a lot of it is skills. Make sure you know your market better than anyone. That's your goal. Make sure you have the most knowledge on your market. But the other side of that is real estate is not nuclear physics. There's a formula to make it work. You can read the same formula in hundreds of books from hundreds of coaches. So find the pieces of that formula that work for you, and then do it, and hire a coach that you get along with who will help you. Don't follow the just because someone else uses a coach or read a book, but pretty much all of the, prospect, time block, prospect, provide great service, stay in touch with everybody, and if you're competent, you will do fine.
Love it. Love it. And how can the audience find out more, view the projects that you're working on? What's the best way to reach out and follow your journey?
Either my website, which I think you mentioned before, and I'm sure it'll be written down, vailcoluxuryhomes.com. My Facebook page, I still use Facebook, which is just Mark Gordon Vail, as well as my LinkedIn, which is Mark Gordon Vail. That's where I keep track of what's going on. And then call me on the phone. There is nothing I enjoy more than being able to procrastinate from the thing I need to do and just get on the phone and talk to somebody about anything. So 970-331-5821 in the United States, and give me a call and we'll talk, and come visit in Vail. That goes to you, obviously, but anybody, give me a call. I'll hook you up. That's the way ski towns work. You give me a 6-pack of beer, I'll roll out the red carpet for you.
Fantastic. Mark, really appreciate your time, energy, and experience and expertise today. Thank you so much for being on your show, and really had a great time, and looking forward to getting you back one day.
Perfect. Thank you so much. That was so much fun.